Hi, my name is Phil Anderson, and I'm running for United States Senate to represent Wisconsin. I had the wonderful fortune of spending some time tonight with some very, very dear friends. Fantastic evening with some friends and their children who are my godchildren. It was absolutely fantastic. This friend of mine also happens to be a Bernie Sanders supporter and does support some issues with which I don't entirely agree. But as we were talking, and I've known this person, a very dear friend of mine, for quite a long time, I love him dearly. We were talking about how when presenting views, especially those views that differ from other people's views, it's important to present them in a way that is loving and direct and personal and not judgmental. What our experiences after sharing them basically told us, and I think we were both aware of this before, but sharing them was powerful, that when people preach to you about something, whether it's Christianity or libertarianism or liberalism or whatever it might be, any sort of ism, basically, socialism, environmentalism, whatever it might be. When somebody tells you what they believe and then looks down their nose at you because they don't believe, or because you don't believe the same thing, that's not accomplishing the goal. Really what that does is it just serves to glorify or to self-glorify the person that is making that statement. It gives the impression or gives the feeling when I'm saying that what I believe is superior to what you believe, that somehow that makes me feel better. It's really not forwarding the goal. If you're a libertarian or a Christian or an environmentalist or a Bernie Sanders supporter or whatever, and you're trying to support your position or support your movement or support your goal, the best thing, the most loving thing, the most honest thing that you can do is to relate to whoever you're talking to at a personal level, to share with them those things that you believe and why. That is the way to win people over, and not just in a mercenary sort of trying to gather followers sort of sense, but in a way to convert people to what your way of thinking is, if in fact you believe that what you're thinking is true and best for people. Now, as a libertarian, I'm not going to touch the Christianity side of it, but as a libertarian, I believe firmly, from the bottom of my heart, that libertarianism provides the most peaceful, the most prosperous way of life for a society, for a nation, for the whole world. So I try to share that with people. And I know that at times I've been guilty of saying something like, taxation is theft. And if you don't understand it, there's an opportunity for me to sort of look down my nose at you, or if you have a completely different viewpoint of it, for you to look down your nose at me. Well, that's not the goal. The point is that I'm running for United States Senate, and I'm trying to serve everyone because I believe that this is actually the way where we'll be the happiest, the most free, the most prosperous, and have the most privacy. I actually believe that 110%. So my goal through the course of this campaign is to share with you things about my paradigm, my worldview, my belief system, in a way that you'll see what I believe and why. And maybe you'll agree with me, maybe you won't. But at the very least, you'll understand that I'm being sincere, because I am. I really want everyone to be as peaceful, prosperous, and free as possible. And I believe that the way that we get to that is by electing libertarians to Congress, to the presidency, to state and local governments, because I believe that our understanding, our philosophy is the way that people are most free and prosperous. However, if you disagree, I'm going to do my very best, although I'm a sinful person and I'm guilty of this all the time, I'm going to do my best to understand where you're coming from, to understand and appropriate what you believe and why you believe it, and to sort of take that in consideration as I not only run for office, but as hopefully I serve you in the United States Senate. That is my goal. I want to meet you where you are. I want you to see me where I am. I want us to have a meeting of the minds as to what our common goals are. Those common goals, I believe, are the basis for any successful human society. All of us, whether we're Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Christians, Muslims, Jews, whatever, straight, gay, anything at all, whatever we do, wherever we're from, in the whole history of mankind, what people want, 99.9% of them, is to have control over their life, to have the resources to do what they need to do to take care of themselves and their family, and to be able to exert some direction over the course of their life, set some prosperity aside so that they can be secure in their old age and leave something to their posterity. That is what 99.9% of the people that have ever existed want. Now that is something that's valuable. What is practiced on us by the Republicans, Democrats, and the media is something entirely different. They seek to divide us, to conquer us, to enslave us, and to steal from us. That sounds like a pretty strong language, but in fact that's what happens, because taxation is theft. Because they do take money from us and use it for ways that are specific to them and aren't beneficial to us. Because they do practice identity politics and seek to find ways that we will differ with each other and hate each other and despise each other and be suspicious of each other, that aren't productive, that don't make happy people, that don't make prosperous, productive people. My goal as a United States Senator and as a politician in general is to seek out those things that we have in common, the things that the 99.9% have in common, those things that include some minimal level of government to protect our lives, to protect our property and our rights, but not the level of government where people, majorities, donors, whoever, have authority over us and can steal from us and influence us to hate each other and to go to war. We don't want any of that at all. We've seen that over the course of the last 100 or 200 years in world history, probably longer than that actually. But we've seen that. That is what's wrong with the world. What I seek to do is to accentuate and to look for the path to what is right with the world and what is right with human beings. That's what I'll do as your senator. So please vote for me on November 8th, and please stay tuned. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks.